Good morning everyone, my name's Steve. I'm coming to you from way down south in Victoria, Australia. I just wanted to present to you a short little video on using some of the little hidden secrets in Excel. Today we're going to be focusing on using spinner controls, which are these buttons here that can rapidly change a variable that you might have in a spreadsheet. These are fantastic anytime that you need to consistently change something to get a different scenario, a different output. You might want to put in, for example, a machine rate, how much it puts out per hour or minute, what its efficiency is running at, 80-85%, something like that. How long, how many hours that you're running for, and you can quickly generate and see what your expected outcome would be, and then you can possibly up your efficiency and say, okay, if we got up to 90%, what would we get? Little things like that. Fantastic for that sort of just throwing up different variables, getting different scenarios. So this one is just obviously a simple fuel calculator. We've all got vehicles. You know, most of you would know what the rate is, what the fuel consumption, how far you might want to travel, and what the current price of fuel is. This is the end result. This is where we're going to get to today. I'm just going to quickly go through and show you how you put these in, how you get them to function properly, and what you need to do to get the end result. Okay, so I've also got a sheet set up over here. It just hasn't got the values in it at this point. So initially what you need to do is you need to turn this tab up on the top called Developer. By default you won't see that in Excel. It's not turned on. So you just go into the File tab, go down to Options. When Options comes up, down the left hand side, click on Customize Ribbon. Keeping in mind these are all ribbons up here. So I want to customize the ribbon. On the right hand side you can see the tabs. By default, Developer tab will not be ticked. You just need to go in there and tick it. Say OK. Once you've done that, you'll see the Developer tab up the top. So for today's lesson, we just want to insert, and you basically see two sets of the same controls. ActiveX works slightly differently. Today we're just going to focus on the form controls, and the fourth option is the spin control, or the spin button. So we just want to click on that. Once you click on that, Excel waits for you to draw it somewhere. So the cursor changes and it's waiting for me to draw a shape. So I'm just going to draw it out to the side from where I actually want it to end up, and then I'll explain to you why I need to do that. I actually want this spin button to update this cell here, which I'm going to hide, and then from the result there I'm going to divide it by 2 over here. Now the reason I need to do that is, unfortunately, spin buttons do not allow you to use decimals. You actually use full numbers. So to get a decimal, which I want over here, I need to divide the result by 2. Okay, so now to get the spin control working, that at the moment will not do anything. I can click it, but it's not updating anything. So I just need to right click it and go into Format Control. Once you're in there, you'll see all these options here. So you need to go to the Control tab, and these are basically the settings that you need to change. Current value, that's when you start, what is the actual value. Most times it doesn't matter, but if you need it to start up around the 50,000, you might want to put that in instead of having to scroll up to it. This example, we're just going to go 0. Mid value can start 0. Because I need to divide it by 2, I want to look at the max value that I'm going to have here, and 20 litres per 100 kilometres should be well and truly above the maximum. Because that's dividing this by 2, I need this one here to be 40. Now that'll make a bit more sense when I set it up, so you can see what I'm talking about. Every time I click it, I want it to change by 1, so that is correct. So that's every time I click this, how far do you want me to change? And when I do click it, what cell do you want me to update? So click in here and say I want you to update that cell. And just note that that's an absolute reference. It's got the dollar signs in it. So in a minute I'm going to copy this to get the next one. It'll still reference back to there which I'm just going to leave that and I'll show you how to fix it. Okay, so once I've set the settings right, just click off it to deselect it, and then you can test it out. I'll just make that font slightly bigger for you so you can see it a bit clearer. So you can see every time I click this, it's going up by 1. But I couldn't have that over here because there's no decimal place. So to get the result I want here, I want to simply divide that cell by 2. Okay, so if that's 7, divide by 2, it's going to give me 3.5. So that's working exactly the way I want it to. I'll just set up to 10 for now. And then we can just position this one over the top of that one. Get it roughly where you want, and then you can use the arrows to fine tune it if need be. And that's pretty good. Okay, so that's one done. Now we're just going to copy that, put it down here. Now in this example, going kilometres, you might want to look at a trip from anywhere from 50 to 1,000 or more. We'll work on 1,000 today. And if you scroll this spinner from 50 to 1,000, one at a time, it'll take a long time. So we're going to actually go into the settings on this one. Go to the control tab. Now the current value, let's set it at 100. Once again, doesn't really matter. We'll set the maximum value to 1,000. You can easily increase that if you need to. Every time I click it, I want it to go by 5s, which is certainly suitable for this purpose. And the cell I want to update, I don't need to divide it by anything, so I don't need that second step on this instance. So I'm just going to go directly into the cell where I want the result. Okay, so it starts at 100. Every time I click it, it's going to go up by 5s. Beautiful. That all looks good. Let's position that one a bit more where we want it. Somewhere about there. Fine tune it with the arrows. Okay, it just needs to go slightly to the left. Okay, so we've got 2 down, 1 to go. Now this one down here, it's going to be dollars. We need 2 decimal places because we want to be able to scroll through by 1 cent at a time. So I'm just going to paste that in again and put it in just to the side because I need to reference this. What I might actually do just quickly is I'll put it over the top here, and then if I go into format control and I want this cell here to reference in that cell behind there, that's why I didn't put it there to start with. You can see how I can't click in there. I could type it in there manually. I always much prefer to use the mouse. So I'll just get that out of the way, and then I can go back into the format control, and the current value I'm going to set it to $1. Keep in mind I'm going to divide this end result by 100. The maximum, hopefully it never ever gets above $5, so we'll say 500, which will give us $5. Every time I spin it, go 1, and the reference is that one. See, I can now click it because I moved it out of the way. Okay, that's it. Let's just check, make sure it's working correctly. Yep, beautiful. So this cell here is basically going to be that cell divided by 100. Excellent. So it can scroll up by cents. And there we go. So we've now got our 3 spinner controls in position, all working correctly. Now you'll note the end result here is working away here. So the simple formula there is whatever kilometres you are travelling, you need to divide it by 100 to work out how many groups of 100 you have. For every 100 that you have, you're going to use that many litres, so you need to times it by that. And for every litre, you need to times it by the price. So you can see the formula here is C7, this one, divided by 100, times by that, gives you the end result. Okay, reasonably straightforward. Hopefully that little video was helpful to you. There's so many options you can use with spinner controls. This is just one example, but try it in your workplace, see how you go. They're great little tools, good fun to play with. Hope you have a great day, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you soon.